The Toothpaste Millionaire, Chapter 6. Another math problem. Before I finished breakfast the next morning, there was a knock on the door. It was Rufus. He was very excited. "Kate," he said, "do you know what the population of the United States is?" No, I said. I never know things like that. My father looked up from his paper. "According to the most recent census, over 200 million," he said to Rufus. My father always knows things like that. "You're right," Rufus said, "and by now it must be even bigger." "Probably," my father said. "The growing population is a very serious matter. Have you thought much about that problem, Rufus?" "Not yet, Mr. McKinstry," Rufus said. "At the moment, I was thinking mainly about toothpaste. I was thinking that everybody in the United States probably uses about 1 tube of toothpaste a month." "Probably," my father said. "And if they do," Rufus said, "how many tubes of toothpaste are sold in a year?" My father thought for a second. "Roughly 2.5 billion tubes." "Right," Rufus said. I hate people who can multiply in their heads, except that my father and Rufus are two of the people I like best in the world. How do you explain that? I really don't like math at all, even when I have a paper and pencil and all the time in the world to figure something out. And at the same time, I look forward every day to Mr. Conti's math class. And how do you explain that, since that's the class where I'm always getting in trouble? For example, the same day my father brought up the population explosion, there's Mr. Conti in math class saying, "Kate McKinstry, would you please bring me that note?" "Well, it isn't exactly a note, Mr. Conti." "I see," says Mr. Conti. "I suppose it's another math problem." "It looks like a math problem, Mr. Conti." The message from Rufus that Mr. Conti got to read that day said, "If there are 2.5 billion tubes of toothpaste sold in the U.S. in 1 year, and 1 out of 10 people switched to a new brand, how many tubes of the new brand would they be buying?" The right answer is 250 million. It took the class a while to figure that out. Some people have trouble remembering how many zeros there are in a billion. Then there was the second part of the note. If the inventor of the new toothpaste made a profit of 1 cent a tube on his toothpaste, what would his profit be at the end of a year? And it turns out the inventor of this new toothpaste would make $2.5 million in profit.